5 of the I Formation. I'm Jeff Gibbons.
And I'm John Moist.
Boy, another wild week in the NFL. All kinds of things going on. At the end of this week, we now still have 5 teams undefeated. Looking, they're running down the list. Seattle, Denver, Kansas City, New England, and New Orleans, all at 4-0.
Kansas City definitely the biggest surprise of those 5, I think.
Yeah, we were trying to elicit that kind of response this week on the website. Still waiting for people to weigh in on that.
Yeah.
Seattle, 2 points, also a nice surprise. Denver was to be expected. New England, I don't know, even at 4-0, that was still an accomplishment, beating Atlanta this week. Missed on that one. We still got 4 teams also that are 0-4, which are equally as surprising. We got the Pittsburgh Steelers at 0-4, the Giants, of course Jacksonville, who knew, right? And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who don't deserve to be at 0-4, but just the way that the ball bounces, I guess, to say something. A few injuries this week too that were key. I mean, in New England, Vince Wilfork,
Huge,
gone down for the season with a torn Achilles. Jake Locker in Tennessee, you know, that Tennessee team that's starting to really come around.
the only team in the NFL that has not turned over the ball yet. Jake Locker got a lot to do with that, but he's out.
Out for 4. I'm hearing 4 to 6 weeks. You're hearing something around that. He's got a hip injury. Mark Sanchez has finally come out now and said that he's going to have surgery on that torn labrum.
Yeah.
Looking at 6 months, so he's effectively out of the picture for the whole year. This is a chance for Geno Smith to continue on and wallow in mediocrity in the Jets organization, sadly. But several close games this week. A couple I didn't see coming. You know, that's the way it goes. And these last 2 weeks have been pretty wild. I was in 9-6. I posted to the site again this week. Still ahead of the CBS panel, so you know you're not too far behind me either. So we're still right in the mix.
I certainly didn't see the Cleveland Browns holding Cincinnati to 6 points, I can guarantee you.
Yeah, you and a good many others.
Yeah.
But that's the way it is. This week we got a few that we're going to disagree on, I think, and certainly some games that could go either way, almost coin tosses. So stick around, folks. We're going to give you our picks in a moment.
Hi, welcome back to the I Formation, and we're going to make our picks for week number 5.
Okay, we had a quick discussion. We're different on 4 this week. Things can go anywhere. A couple of coin tosses there. Starting out with the Thursday nighter. Buffalo is in Cleveland to play the Browns. Who do you like?
I like Cleveland Browns at home, the dog pound. They did an excellent job against Cincinnati last week, and I see more of the same. I'm going to pick Cleveland over Buffalo in this one.
2 defenses that are really getting the job done, but I think it's going to be a good, entertaining game. Cleveland at home, you're right. Let's do it. New Orleans at Soldier Field to play the Bears. Who do you like?
Well, the Saints looked really good against Miami the other night, and they've been looking very solid offensively all year, not to mention the defense is starting to step up. I'm not sure Chicago has enough offense to keep up here, and I'm going to pick the Saints to come up with the win on the road.
I agree with you 100%. The Bears, while they played well defensively for most of the season, the Messiah, Sean Payton, is back, and I think this team has a mandate to win it all. They're really rolling, cooking with gas. Next we got Seattle in Indianapolis to play the Colts at Lucas Oil. This is the first one we're going to differ on. I'm going to lead in with this and say, you know what? This defensive juggernaut that is the Seattle Seahawks, I think has really, really stepped up each game. It's made it more and more difficult to side against them winning that division, gotta say. Even Richard Sherman, gotta love that pick 6 last game. I think that they give Andrew Luck all kinds of problems at home. I think it's a team where I just think they're going to surprise them. They're going to come up with a huge road win. I think it's going to be a field goal, though. I think it's going to be very close.
I agree it's going to be a close game, but Indy's just coming off 2 big road wins around an emotional high. Now they're coming back home. Andrew Luck is playing at the top of his game, and they found a running game. With Mathis and Bethea at safeties to shut down Seattle and Russell Wilson running the ball. I see Indy winning this one. I'm going to go with Indy by field goal.
Okay. There's that coin toss. Next we've got Kansas City in Tennessee to play the Titans. What do you like?
Gotta like the Chiefs here. Their defense is fantastic, and they got Jamal Charles on the ground. Tennessee has not turned over the ball this year, but Jake Locker is injured, and Ryan Fitzpatrick is taking over this game, and I think they're going to see their first turnovers in this one. I think it's going to be a close one, though. Tennessee at home tends to be strong. I just think the Chiefs.
Loving the Andy Reid
Chiefs are a
thing,
better
right?
team, yeah.
Looks good. And of course Alex Smith.
Yeah.
Two people that are really out to prove, their worth, and I think they've done a good job. Next we've got the Jaguars playing St. Louis.
Like the Rams. Matter of fact, I like anybody playing the Jaguars.
That's pretty much the answer, isn't it? Until we get burned by that, and I'm still waiting for that opportunity. I don't think it is this week, though.
Yeah.
Next, we've got Detroit going into Lambeau to play the Packers. Surprisingly, we agree on this. And we're both picking the Packers this week. The lowly Green Bay Packers, who have had all kinds of trouble out of the gate. But Detroit, with that big offense, big win last week, with a share of the lead in that division. I still think at home, Aaron Rodgers and company have, a lot to prove. Lacey back this week, I think, too. Did I hear that?
I believe he is, yes.
So that's a big part of that puzzle, too, being able to move that ball and pound the rock. So I think that Aaron Rodgers and the Packers win this. I'm even going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say, you know what, even with all those offensive weapons, I say that the Packers get this done by better than a touchdown.
Okay, I'll say by about a touchdown, maybe a little bit better. I agree.
Okay.
Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers at Lambeau. Enough said.
Attaboy. With Lombardi looking on in the background. Next, we've got the New England Patriots, 4-0 New England Patriots, going into Cincinnati to play the Bengals.
The Bengals, I don't know what they're doing here now. Their offense is too simple. Cleveland shut them down to 6 points last week. There's no imagination here to their offense. Very predictable offense, and now they're going up against New England without Vince Wilfork. But I just flat out think New England is a better football team, and I'm going to have to pick New England on the road in this one.
And I agree with you, but I still got to hit you because you said New England was the better football team. I just got to say that. Sorry for all you Patriots fans out there. You're right, though. I think that receiving core, that a couple of weeks ago, most of them in New England were wearing stickers, "Hi, my name is." And now, Brady has moved the ball around effectively with all of them, and we're hearing this from all the pundits. They're saying that they're getting stronger every week. There's still a weak part of their schedule. That was a big win against Atlanta in the Dome. I think that was a defining moment for them to go to 4-0. But they've still got some interdivisional games that are going to really mean a lot in the AFC East. They've got to play the Dolphins twice. They've got to play the Bills. The Jets. But sorry, Dave. There's still a lot to be kind. But you're right. I think New England goes in. I think they'd be in Cincinnati. I mean, their defense has been very good this year, and with a team that like the Bengals, who now all of a sudden are teetering and not being able to produce offensively. I think New England.
Cincinnati has been weak offensively.
It'll be a feast of Bengal. I think. I really think. I heard there was a secret chord. All right. So moving on now, Philadelphia going in to play the New York Giants at home, and we don't agree on this one either. I'm sorry, but the whole thing about Eli Manning being a one-man wrecking crew, and he has been this year. Turnovers, and you're the professor of the turnover, John. You talk about this all the time. You talk about when you're turning the ball over and you're committing more errors than the team you're playing, you lose the game 85-90% of the time. Eli Manning, last week, responsible for at least 3 of those turnovers that was committed by the Giants. And Philadelphia, Chip Kelly, I've seen glimmers of brilliance from that offense. I just don't see how the Giants are going to keep up with that Philadelphia team. I just think they're a decent road team. I think they go in there and I think they beat these guys. And it's going to hurdle the Giants to 0-5. I don't know what Tom Coughlin's going to do to rally the troops, but I don't see it any other way this week. Only picking the Eagles. But you don't agree.
I'm going to have to go with the Giants because they're at home. They're under a lot of pressure. They still have a couple of big names on defense that can come up with some big plays, like Pierre-Paul and Justin Tuck. Their offensive line has been brutal, which has been, and Eli Manning, of course. Maybe the offensive line's a little bit responsible for that, but Manning's after throwing about 10 picks, is that right?
Something like that.
So far this year, which is ridiculous. Philadelphia's pass defense is one of the worst in the game. This is the reason I'm going to go with the Giants here. I know it was the Denver Broncos, but 52 points, really. And now they got to go up against Victor Cruz, Ruben Randall, Hakeem Nicks. I just think that Manning is going to put things back on track. I'm going to look for the Giants to win this one in a big way.
Let's just hope he throws the jersey, or throws at the right jersey. Because, don't want to get a case of the cutlery or whatever. All right. Baltimore now. One of the marquee games this week, I think. I would. Baltimore going into the Sunshine State to play the Miami Dolphins, who just got their heels cooled in a big way on Monday Night Football against the New Orleans Saints. And I think, and we're not going to agree on this one either, but you know what? Those Miami Dolphins, I think, are for real. You know what? Even Pete Prisco said it. We all know how much we love Pete Prisco. He makes the comment that, you know what? They did. They had a tough venue. Monday Night Football, Drew Brees at home. Sorry, you know what? Unless everything goes your way, you're not beating the New Orleans Saints at home, especially on Monday night. So, they're going home. They're licking their wounds. They've been good at home this year. Ryan Tannehill has to hang on to the football. And I think as long as he's mistake-free, they can hold on and beat this Baltimore team that has shown holes even in their secondary this year. I think that they've got enough big punch in people like Mike Wallace, Brian Hartline, and Lamar Miller looked great in that first half against the New Orleans Saints. So I think they've got enough there to take Baltimore down at home. Just a good home win. I don't think it's going to be a blowout, but I think they win by 3-5 points.
I think this one's a toss-up. I'm going to go with Baltimore strictly because Joe Flacco threw 5 interceptions last week. Flacco is one of the best quarterbacks in the game. He's proven it for the past few years. Defending Super Bowl champions, a lot of pride here. Losing to Buffalo last week. They still got to have a great defense. Miami has a great defense as well. I really think this is going to be a low-scoring defensive battle, great football game. I'm going to go with the Ravens to come out on top in the end.
Okay. Carolina is in Arizona to play the Cardinals. And surprisingly, we both are on the same side of the ledger again here. You like Carolina as well as I do.
Yes.
Tell me all about it.
Well, coming off a bye week, and will I say his name again?
Go ahead.
Luke Kuechly, middle linebacker, one of the best in the game. Is going to be a big reason why they win this game. Arizona is tough at home, though. And I just think Carolina has more talent. I just think that they do. They're coming off a bye week, too.
They've had it rough, and I think they've licked their wounds. I think they come out with a big effort against Arizona. You're right. Next, we've got Denver in Dallas to play the Cowboys. Right now, I think the line on this is, I don't know, 7.5 points for Denver.
Actually, I think it opened at 7.5 and is after rising since then. Not sure what it's up to now, maybe 8 or 9.
A fool and his money. You know what? There's something. This is my bad stomach pick of the week. I mean, we're all both of us are obviously looking at the Denver Broncos to win this game, but there's something out there in space that's telling me if we're going to have a moment with Pepto-Bismol this weekend, it's going to be this game. And I just gotta. I don't know if it's some sort of being struck in the head by something that bad, but I'm scared of this pick. You know, everyone's talking about the 16-0 season of the Denver Broncos, and we all know there's been some great teams out there that have had these things thwarted, and when you least expect it. Tony Romo has the ability to have a big game at home. Dallas is tough at home. Denver, I mean, let's face it, the professor himself in Peyton Manning, but I think that there is enough. There are some glimmers of defense at home with that Dallas team, and there's some good offensive threats there in the way of Des Bryant and, of course, Romo himself. I think that there's an opportunity then to keep this close, and if things went the right way, you could have a bad bounce, and it could be a 4-1 start for the Denver Broncos. But I'm still going with Denver. You're going with Denver.
I think maybe what you're talking about here is Dallas has some really speedy young corners there, and I'm not sure if Denver's seen anything like this season with Brandon Carr, Morris Claiborne out there. And Manning hasn't thrown a pick yet this year. It's going to be tough to get through this game without throwing one because these guys are fast. They're excellent corners. And Dallas, I think, could keep it close with DeMarco Murray on the ground. Certainly, they could pull the upset. It's possible. I just don't think they will. I like Denver by a touchdown.
Me too, but who would have thought we'd be sitting here thinking and scared of, or I'd be scared of all teams, the Dallas Cowboys to upset the apple cart.
Marcus Ware is healthy too, isn't he?
Yeah. Let's wait and see how that goes. And we might be laughing at the other side of our face tomorrow or next week. Okay, we've got Houston in San Francisco to play the 49ers, and we both agree here. You like...
I'm liking the 49ers more and more every week. I think that they have one of the best teams in the game. They were shook up a little bit in the first part of the season when Indy beat them there a couple of weeks ago. But I think they really pull it together now, and I'm not sure Patrick Willis is back or not.
Not sure.
Not sure.
But Aldon Smith is out for some time.
Yeah.
You know, a huge piece of that defensive line. But you've also got Kaepernick. And I know I said last year I called him a cowboy. I'm not convinced he's not going to end up on the range at some point with a lasso. You know what? Some of the 49ers' success over the last couple of weeks has been on the ground with Frank Gore.
And Kendall Hunter as well is another threat there.
So we're
Gore
seeing,
for sure.
I mean, I know that, and Kaepernick at times has shown up to be able to say he's a pocket passer. But you know what? When you take away that lateral movement of Colin Kaepernick, and you identify that read option, it seems like you've got a deer in the headlights. And unless that ball is being moved on the ground, they're really having trouble moving the ball and creating offense.
Well, they're going to have tough job there. If they try that game plan against Houston, they're going to have some trouble.
Yes.
Especially J.J. Watt coming at them. But like you said, with the running game there, I really think that Frank Gore is one of the best running backs in the game. I think he has been for years. And last week he went for, did he go for 150 last week?
I can't remember.
Something like that, but yeah.
He had a big week.
Yeah, and I think Kendall Hunter's going to go in the end zone this one too.
So yeah, we agree. San Francisco. I think Houston is not as strong as they could be. San Francisco tough at home. Mm-hmm. Next we've got San Diego going into Oakland to play the Raiders. I'm not a big fan of Phillip Rivers, but I got to say he's gotten the job done this year. Big game out of Antonio Gates past week. A couple of touchdowns, able to win again. And San Diego look like a contender right now. Playing Oakland, McFadden hurt. Still not sure where that's going. Terrell Pryor out of the lineup now. I'm liking San Diego's chances to be able to go in there and win it close.
You know, this is always a very close game between San Diego and Oakland's divisional. They're big-time rivals. There's a big-time rivalry there between these two teams. And I just think that Oakland at home is going to come in with an emotional high and ready for these Chargers. Malcolm Floyd is out with an injury, and I think that's going to affect Rivers in a big way. And I just think that Oakland is at home and going to win by field goal.
Emotional high. What do you want me to play? Like, I got you, babe, in the background here. Throw flowers, hold hands.
We'll see, pal.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It's emotional high anytime they play the Chargers.
Yeah. Emotional high. Okay. That's what it is. There's nothing else out in San Diego that's causing that right now. Okay. We've got the New York Jets and the Monday Nighter in the Dome to play the Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons just lost at home. I can't remember the last time the Atlanta Falcons lost 2 home games in a row. As a matter of fact, in the Matt Ryan era, they've only lost 6 games in total, including the game this past week. So I'm not liking the New York Jets' chances. With Geno Smith, and now, of course, with Sanchez out of the equation, gracefully for the rest of the year, pretty much, Rex Ryan can have his full run to ruin Geno Smith and any chance he has of becoming the new quarterback in New York.
I think Matt Ryan has a big game in the air. Jets might be able to shut down the ground game of Snelling and Rodgers, but Matt Ryan with a big game in the air, maybe Jones as well, on the receiving end of it.
Yeah, Matt Ryan, the Iceman cometh. And we think the Atlanta Falcons by 40 points. That's what I'm saying. That's the picks for the week, folks. Stick around. We're going to give you our final thoughts and pick our player and teams of the week. Hi, we're back with this week's players and teams of the week. John, who do you like as a player this week?
I like Frank Gore, San Francisco 49ers, playing at home to Houston. Houston has a good defense, but a long way to travel in this one, and I think Gore is going to come up with over 100 yards on the ground. One of the best running backs in the game.
Good call. I'm also going with a running back this week. No, not one you're probably going to agree with, but I'm picking Lamar Miller for the Miami Dolphins. I think that after last week, the defense, that Baltimore defense, giving up almost 200 yards on the ground against Buffalo, I think Miller has a big day at home, and I think comes up big. Team of the week. I can't see it any other way. The Monday Nighter, the Atlanta Falcons. I think they're at home. I think the Iceman has a big thing to prove. Not going to lose 2 in a row. And I think they just shred the New York Jets at home. My call.
I'm going to call the New York Giants to wake up and expose the Philadelphia pass defense once again. Philadelphia Eagles pass defense is ridiculously bad. Victor Cruz, Ruben Randall, Hakeem Nicks, and Eli Manning actually shows up for this one. So I'm going to pick the Giants in a big way.
Okay. So it's all about the receivers, you think?
Yeah.
Well, you were doing pretty good with those there, but you probably would have done better with your gloves.
Oh, excellent. Yes, but let's try him on, shall we?
Yeah.
Hang on now. Yeah.
Oh, you need a good bat. That's the way we saw it this week, folks.
I'll actually wear these.
I know you will.
Yeah.
You actually have.
Actually.
We'll see you next week, folks. Come see our website and give us a like on Facebook. It's the I Formation, no dash. And if you want to see our videos and subscribe, you can go to Omega Adam 474, all one word. We'd love to see your feedback on the videos, and we'd certainly like to see your feedback on the website. So thanks for coming and watching our show. See us again next week. And until then, it's good night from me.
And it's good night for him. Thanks for watching. Have fun.